Hey there, and welcome back to Trainwreck, an educational monster train series where you watch me struggle at around 200 Pact Shards. And goodness, struggle we have. This last episode was pretty brutal. We had a. It's a very interesting run because it was well, it was this guy, it was Solgard. We had a very strong start between Gurg's Goad and I want to say a early mid game Railhammer with some fortifies. We weren't like super capitalizing on it, no Steelworker in the run or anything like that, but it was still pretty decent. But then I kept in the late game, I kept trying to hold out. Like I should have taken an incan, and obviously in hindsight, I had a Railhammer. Incan armor 2 would have been pretty strong, right? But I really wanted to hold out for the perspective quick or a multi-strike. And the only incan armor 2s I was ever seeing were in the first reroll of a shop. So the thing is I could have taken quick or multi-strike, and therefore the shop had pretty good odds of showing me what I wanted. Instead, I just kept seeing quick large stone, or not quick, but endless large stone, and all of my magic shops, despite wanting a double stack or a holdover, ended up being permafrost and remove consume. So it was pretty rough. Now, obviously, in hindsight, I feel like we could have done it pretty comfortably with my Railhammer Incant Armor 2. I should have maybe just committed to that. It's tough. It's tough because the Divinity and the enemies are so strong at 200 shards, and I don't have a great sense for how powerful like mini bosses get at that scale quite yet. So I think Incant Armor 2 with the Railhammer would have been sufficient. And instead, because I kept thinking, I mean, I don't know if it was wrong, right? I mean, you have a 2 in 3 chance of seeing it. Do you take the like, I don't know, maybe this defense works approach? Instead, I ended up with a Battlestone and it sucked. Obviously, it was terrible. I wanted Incant Armor 2 if that was my fallback and we just didn't have it. But I don't know if that's an interesting lesson or not. Every time I think I think I figured something out about 200 shards, I either lose or struggle because I follow that algorithm. And so much of the success of this series, or not just this series, but this meta relies on pure luck. There's just, what do you see? And you're just like, I don't know, I should take the stronger pick and hope that I see an endless later, or I should take the more consistent pick and then hope I high roll an Ashes of the Fallen later or something. You know, it's how do you make that prediction? I'm specifically speaking about our loss when I was playing Queen earlier on this series, because looking back on it, it's easy to go, well, yeah, obviously you make it past ring 4 if you hold over the big spell card. Great, yeah, absolutely. But then I know that's not strong enough to win at 200 shards. How am I winning the run? So then the answer from all the comments comes and says, well, obviously you'll find something later. Okay, sure, that's fair. I could find something later, but I also could have found something when I looked then. Like, it could have been either way, right? And it might not come later. And then I maybe take the weaker pick early, which seals me into a loss later. It's really, and that's almost what happened in this previous episode with Soulguard, is I played the way that I felt I needed to for 200 shards. I needed a bigger upgrade. I needed something like a quick or a multi-strike. Statistics were on my side. I had multiple steel shops, a lot of good chances, and yet still I missed on all of them. Missed on all of them. And then I ate dirt. And I skated out a victory, very close, narrow. I'm surprised I pulled it off, honestly. It was well calculated. I had my calculator out on multiple occasions, multiple waves, and we barely win. So I guess kind of it was the right choice in a way, but also I don't know. It's tough. It's interesting because I don't feel like I have this problem at 100 shards because the game is much more bounded at 100 shards. What do I mean by that? What I mean is, think about all of the different ways that like a floor can get upgraded by elites in 200 shards. It can look so many different ways, just so many different ways. When you have 100 shards by ring 4, the game has a lot of flexibility with the RNG of how it upgrades everything. You can get a fully upgraded wave. Literally everything is upgraded. You can get all of the back units upgraded, all the heavies upgraded. It has so much leeway with the RNG. And if there's just one specific nuanced organization that you're just not well prepared for, you can get screwed by it. Whereas if you're playing at 100 shards, you don't have that problem, right? If you're playing at 100 shards, it's very well bounded. You're like, okay, well, I have 60 shards walking into ring 5. So I roughly know exactly the different combinations that can appear here. It's easier to predict. And I think that it being a little easier to predict along the way allows you to plan for exactly how strong you are. And as a result, you can make calls like, I can wait, or I have to take something, or I can look again later, or things like, oh, if I miss all of this stuff, I still win because I know what this looks like roughly. It's very interesting. Anyway, now we're moving on to Primordium. Great. All right, I've talked enough. Let's go. Cool. I will say the thing though, as always, do like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. These things are appreciated. It's an interesting topic to me to discuss whatever is going on in the 200 shard meta, because it's very clear that I'm not as good at it as I am at the 100 shard meta. It gets crystal clear. It's very obvious to me. I watch myself struggle on decisions. I know, I can sense I am not in a strong line here. I don't know what I'm looking for necessarily. Whereas at 100 shards, I can go, this is tough, but I know the lines that work. I know how to approach this. I can stay low and still ramp up later. Whereas you don't have that luxury at 200. It's an interesting meta. If I'm being clear, I think that 100 shards is way more fun overall because I think it's a much more rewarding meta because you can get really good and really consistent. You can get there is the thing. I think at 200 shards, if you try to do that with no resets, I don't think you can get there. Like just straight up, you're just like leaving your run in the Lord's hands pretty much. Like you just don't have a chance for it. So anyway, the Lord's hands. I should have said Hell's hands. Haha. Anyway, let's play Monster Train. Today we are Exile, Umbra, and default Awoken. It's a pretty good combo. I normally would complain about this, but we have Primordium, so it's not bad. You could do some stupid things like Awoken Hollow cultivating Stalwart Snack, which is really funny, actually, and actually remarkably good when you can do it. The problem is you have to pick Stalwart Snack first, which is usually never correct. So there's that. Let's see, today we're fighting Pushback Talos, Spell Shield Fell, Diligent Seraph. Again, we have Mind Collapse, Vine Grasp, Grovel, all good starters. I like pings. There certainly is more impactful stuff we could start with, like, Perils of Production, Razor Sharp Edge, whatever, but these are fine. Pings are good enough. They're better than some of the worst cards of the clans, and I'll just happily take them, so fair enough. All right, let's see what we're working with. We have temples on 2, 4, 5, 7, 8. Wow, 5 temple run. That's great. We love the flexibility of that. We have a dupe on 8 on steel side. It's otherwise not very good. Good steel shop on 7 with removals. Hellvent on 6. It's a pretty decent one, actually. We've got a Horde in Caverns. That's nice. I like that. Competes with a pretty bad steel shop. It's an okay Trinket Shop on 5. I don't actually think just removals plus Trinket Shop is good enough. You need something else here, like money or whatever. Meanwhile, we have Money, Caverns, Steel Shop on 5 as well. Removal dupe Awoken Banner on 4 is good if I can use it, and double steals early is also nice. Nice sometimes. Where do we get hurt? Nothing on 4. And that's it. Steal, steal, steal. Just 4 is missing. Yeah, fair enough. We'll take it, so that's nice. We have a Forced Awoken banner early, which is good. I mean, I think I would prefer that to an Umbra banner on Primordium, so that's nice. We can feed a sweeper or something, so that's good. All right, fair enough. Root Split Mask versus Vapor Funnel. I think the answer has to be Root Split Mask. It has so much late game power. I'm a huge fan of this. Vapor Funnel is also obviously quite strong as well, but in most cases, if floors are fully walking past you in the back end, you're probably dying. So let's take the Root Split Mask and feel good about it. Forge says Aggressive Edible or Stalwart Snack. Now, with the Awoken banner on 2, you could do this, but I think there's only really one unit that benefits this with this opener, and that's Awoken Hollow. So we're going to take Aggressive Edible and play it cool, I think. I have pings, a number of them, so I think I can comfortably take this Horde. Yeah, Chain of Gems is pretty cool here. I like Sap Tap, but Chain of Gems is just a really good answer for how does Primordium not immediately die. I like that. We take it. I think that's much stronger here. We should always be thinking ahead. I think we can take the spikes here, thanks to Chain of Gems, actually. Normally I wouldn't do this because Primordium attacks into spikes and just straight up dies, but I think we do okay. Now, sadly, there's actually no unit to play with him, so that's a little annoying. And give him an extra thing here. We'll toss an extra morsel up top. And then I will kill this unit down below. It's fine. Playing a Train Steward up top, it's good. I'm gonna pop a guy downstairs. And then we plink, and I'm okay with it. Cool. Fine. Looking okay. We clear upstairs. We're going to get there on this next floor as well, which is nice. I can keep this guy alive. Here's some regen for no real reason. May as well. We're fine upstairs. Plink down below. Cool. Alright, we look okay here. Oh, interesting. I forgot Chain of Gems. I could have put that in front. That's fine. I think we get through this. Nope. Not, well, I don't want to say no problem, but we're pretty far ahead here, I think. So, not really concerned about it. Can play this combat pretty quickly, and we take these. Yeah, good job. Go team. Alright, that's nice. We get pretty much everything here. Prismal Dust is really good. Immortal Trade is also really good. I'm seeing Awoken units, so I don't think I need a morsel here. I'm not taking the making of a morsel. Both of these are nice. I think with the Awoken lean, I'm going to grab Immortal Trade. I think this is going to be good. Both of these are great. I'm going to take the Immortal Trade here, though. I'm going to snap, click, razor sharp edge. Snap gains are important. Okay. We go to the banner because I want to see a unit. Quick. There's the quick. Quick plus 25 is present. Temple says plus 30 and a 10 in piercing. Alright, sure. Okay, so we only got one unit in this banner, oddly. Normally you get two, but for some reason the game decided to not show me a second unit here. So I guess we have to take Animus of Speed, and we really kind of don't have any choice on it. This unit is not good for a number of reasons, but its infusion is fine, so we'll take it. It's okay. Yeah, absolutely, we take that. It's not impressive. Unfortunately, it is bad enough that I don't want to re-roll the shop. 10 in piercing, Mind Collapse, very good. Let me look ahead a bit. I do want the plus 30. I'm just debating if I want a double stack. Put them both on the same card is what I meant to say. Obviously, that could pay out for a X5. It's unlikely. Could be a good dupe target. Spreading it out is pretty good now, though. It's also pretty good later. It's fair. Plus 30 Mind Collapse is pretty good. I'm actually going to do the spread out approach here, because I want two cards that are strong instead of one card that's strong. And we don't do an infusion right now. Not even close to it. I just kind of let this ride. I could toss a plus 25 in this if I'm scared. And honestly, I actually think I am. This ring too could be very powerful or very terrifying to us. This basically gives us like a pseudo Demon Fiend, which lets me comfortably take things like this unit draft. So that's good. Cool. It's a real shame we only got the one card there. I'm not really sure what happened about that. Let's... Armor in front, I believe. Yeah, damage shield in front today. We're going to... pop 1, pop 2, and then hopefully plink out this other guy. That's the goal. Come on. Ugh, plink. It's okay. I will take a razor sharp here. I think it gives us a lot more value. The quick is really what makes this work for me. Cool, so I pop this guy just so I don't have to take this hit. Good job. Drop some damage shield. Don't really care about the rest. Fine. The right way of doing this is we pop middle. So you put down a train steward here with the damage shield. We pop the mid guy here. And downstairs we don't really get much value out of this, but that's okay. Root split mask helps out. Give me a ping here. Fine, I suppose. Hopefully I draw a ping for this next one then. Looks a lot better when you can do this. Cool. Alright, good enough. Didn't really need the damage, the HP, but I played it a little safe. I think it makes sense to do it. We're gonna click the perils here, although I do like Space Prism. I think perils is a strong card that is really good to use. Who is surprised? It's a really good spell chain target. It's a really good holdover target. I think we do. Let me check actually. Where's my magic shop? I'm going to a magic shop. Maybe. Depends on the banner unit we see. I think you take the perils here. There is, let's see, a steel shop on 5. There's a lot of steals in the mid game. There's only one really decent magic shop. And the magic shop at the end is not on the Hellvent side. So there's really not a lot of great opportunities for this. But when you have Primordium, you could always pivot Superfood or something, depending on what you're shown. It's good to grab this card. You should take this card when it's shown. Third Razor Sharp. I actually don't, or second Razor Sharp. I don't think I need this. Third Vine Grasp, Restoration Detonation. Good cards, but I don't think I want them. Well, that's not what I expected. They gave me a Shadow Siege. So we've got Morsel Maker, Shadow Siege, Crucible Collector. What the heck? I mean, I should take this Shadow Siege. As weird as it is, I will take the Shadow Siege. It's weird, but like this guy's unit infusion is bonkers good. Plus 60, plus 50. Like if I can get plus 60 attack out of an infusion, I'm usually very happy about it. I'm gonna go left, I think. The thing is this doesn't really give me a great direction on infusion action, or like actually what is my unit. So if I go right, I'm looking for a multi-strike, which could potentially turn Animus of Speed into something useful. It's not great. It's like you're suddenly a bad Animus of Will that has a quick on it. I don't know how to feel about that. Health is not great. There's no Umbra unit that's actually nice here, though, unfortunately. There's nothing that's like considerably better. Okay, there's like, I could get away with Crucible Warden or Collector for the early game. It certainly bests Talos. But I think we get away with it as is, so it's better to look right. Thing is if you're shown multi-strike, what are you doing with that? Are you putting it in Shadow Siege? No way. You can't play that unit. Not a chance. Animus of Speed, give it a multi-strike. It's just bad. So I'm going to go left because there's no benefit to the steel shop here. And maybe we see, maybe we see the holdover and we pop off, is what it comes down to. Yo, Mindjax, is he almost playable? 6 space? My God. Cursed Vines is just so much better, though, into Diligent, and just generally speaking, it's fine. Let's look at this Umbra banner. If you're worried, you take this Crucible Warden. And then you dumpster the Animus of Speed or plan on using it as an infusion, maybe? I would just use the Shadow Siege instead. I think we're fine. I'm just going to skip this, especially with that holdover, yeah? Hold over the perils here. We just kind of cruise off the back of that. I'm going to take -1s here. I think -1 on Razor Sharp is a good card. +10. Well, not many great options for a +10. If I re-roll this, I mean, what you do is you actually just go to the caverns. If they show me an X5, I'm going to X1, like a +10 in piercing Mind Collapse, probably, and be a little sad. Interesting. I think we just straight up take Heaven's Gold here, and we're happy about it. Yeah, that's just what we're doing here. I do need to make things free because oh no, I don't. I have Cursed Vines. We're actually just way ahead right now. Yeah, we're actually just super fine. I'm going to take a +10 into the Mining Collapse that does 10 in piercing. Just so that 20, I can almost always push 25 if I want to at 2 Ember, get 2 back. And then I can always take a 20 damager there as well. So we're fine. This is pushback, but I also kind of don't care about pushback because behold the power of... Yeah, I just have Vine Grasps, so we're actually just super okay. Cool. Like, she pushes this around and I go, oh no! What do I do? And it's actually just super okay. Yeah, like this next floor doesn't even threaten me here. It's kind of funny when you think about it. Because the quick, right? So she just kills that guy and it's good. Grovel for sure. We take the damage shield here. Drop this down. Drop that. Pull this individual forward. Cool. See, she goes upstairs. Oh no, she goes downstairs. My goodness. Very interesting. We pop this front dude, kill that guy, no problem. I do want to double pull on bottom. It's good. Sure, seems good. I'm doing a 91 damage swing here, which is pretty strong, it turns out. So I'm feeling pretty good about it. You yank the scary guy forward and it dies. I puncture the back guy, no problem. And we lose a damage shield, sadly, but it's okay. And we should cruise this, right? Yeah, just pull the scary guy forward and then hit it, and it's okay. Right? I mean, then at this point, you may as well put the Train Steward down because he takes hits for you, so it's actually pretty decent when you think about it. And then take this, I pull this individual forward, and one of these pings goes into the middle. Sure. And then we should be just cruising, right? I pop this front fella. Boop. Swings a whole bunch around. And then we grovel here. And you put down an Umbra morsel, and then we pop the front, and we make this work, right? We make it work for us. It's not good having a Train Steward as your front line at 55 shards in the Talos, but we have enough stats that we're okay. Now I am hopefully seeing something a little better here. We have a unit banner. Maybe I'll see another unit. Shroud Spike is dead on arrival here. I'm looking for a sweeper or an Animus of Will. I've got ideas. Cycle of Life is not bad, but not really what I want here. It's hard to make this work. It's a good card if I can upgrade into it. And frankly, I don't have any other really good cards to upgrade. So let's take it, actually. Well, It's an Awoken hollow angle, I suppose. Do I click this guy? Is that actually better? I mean, yes, it is. It's actually a functional line. We'll click him. I'll take, hey, I'm going to take functional line over non-functional line any day. Just trust me on that. We take card draw. I need to find my cards. I'm going to go left for sure. I'm going to removal dupe this. I have options, but it also gives me an Awoken unit, which could be a sweeper or something better. Well, okay. That's a Steel Singer. I don't know what I was expecting, but I didn't plan on this. So, that's... I love Steel Singer, and I think this works well here, and I also think you can hard pivot into this and do fine. But I'm really bummed out that I didn't hit anything that wants the Shadow Siege infusion. Like, truly nothing. No sweepers in this run. No Animus of Will on this run. Like, what is this, really? Nothing? Nothing. A whole lot of nothing. So, like, I can pivot here and use the Animus of Speed as an infusion, but then Primordium is kind of dead, right? Like, what is Primordium doing? Is Thorned Hollow actually secretly the better pick here? Maybe. Like, maybe unironically because enemies attack him and he kills them? What in the world? I think Thorn Hollow might be better because I don't really do anything to backlines right now. I'm kind of actually a little concerned with this ordering. I skipped Shard Channeler. I'm a buffoon. I could have Shard Channeler and spread shards spikes to Primordium and then bounced them back to me. It's actually, it would have been better, but I think what I want to do, if I go Thorn Hollow, I take Awoken Hollow here. If I go Steel Singer, I put Quick into it, but then I'm a little concerned about just throwing away Primordium in the mid-game. That feels pretty rough. Let me be clear, that seems pretty bad. And then you pick him back up in the late game, but that's not really doing anything. What is that doing? Nothing. Nothing. If this were 100 shards, I think I could pivot on Steel Singer and win. Can I do this at 200? I have no idea. I actually think Thorn Hollow may be the safer pick here. I'm really sad about Shadow Siege. I might keep him around and see if I just high roll sketches or something. At this point, I've already kind of grabbed him, and there are worse cards in my deck, so I'm going to be like removing Animus of Speed, for instance. I think I'm going Thorn Hollow here. I don't love this. In fact, it's not great, but I think it is the right call. I cut the Animus of Speed. What is happening? -2 goes in Cycle of Life. That's nice. Intrinsic might go in Perils? What is my Dark Forge? Okay, we get a Superfood Pivot, actually. So we take the Superfood Pivot here, and then I go Intrinsic on... Ooh, there's a lot of good choices here. I think the Intrinsic is actually correct on Perils here, believe it or not. The only thing you've got to watch out for is... Well, I don't have to watch out for Diligent because of Cursed Vines. So I always have my Perils active. It's pretty darn good. I'll take it. What is happening with these units? What am I looking at? Can we talk about this? I don't want to talk about this. What is my dupe? Perils, maybe? Interesting. I'm not sure. Now, I have late game temples, so I can do a late game post-fell infusion with space. And then at that point, what you do is you put the hollow. Do I actually put hollow into hollow here? Is that ever right? Without Cultivate, it's, I mean, without, what is it called? Stalwart Snack, it's not that good. I don't have multi-strikes. I don't think that Cultivate 2 is really doing anything for me. So what do you do? Well, great question. Great, just a fantastic question to be asking yourself here today. Yeah, what is happening on this run? What am I doing with these units? This is a really this is a difficult question to answer. On the one hand, I've already kind of committed to Shadow Siege to some extent by picking him. So, like, if I hold on to him for a sketches, is that terrible? Yeah, it is. It's pretty unlikely. I think there's basically no chance in hell, literally, that I'm able to play him on this run. I can intrinsic up. I could dupe. Oh god, is this even something I'm considering? I'm taking space, maybe? If I take space and I dupe the intrinsic perils, I can play him on turn 1 and any turn thereafter. Is that even good? No, I mean, it's not. He's just a big stat stick. With no upgrades or anything, I don't think he adds any value. Okay. Quick is irrelevant, too. Like, there's actually no benefit to Quick here if I go in on Thorn Hollow. You could self-infuse the Awoken Hollow, but I don't think this line works without multi-strike and some other solutions. I have no great backline answer. I think I have to go in on Thorn Hollow here and hope for the best. So, what is the infusion then for Thorn Hollow? I wish it could be Shadow Siege, but I don't think that's possible. Tiny Stone could make this work. I'd like the initial stat bump. Never Quick. None of these infusions are actually good. Then how am I getting shards? I have to keep my train stewards around. I could make a big steward. I could do a throwaway infusion right now. So, like, a good example might be Shadow Siege into Animus of Speed. She's not good, but she hits a thing for 85 and then dies? Is this... I mean, this is not an impressive infusion, but it lets me remove train stewards and also cut the Awoken Hollow. Actually pretty decent. Helps out in the early game. Alright, I mean, I actually think this is better than it looks. It's not great, okay? Hear me out, it's not great. Now, I think we do cut the Awoken Hollow here. And I use Thorn Hollow as my line, so we dumpster a Train Steward, and we dupe something. My main concern is I don't want double perils because it's going to clog down my draws. I need to hit restores. So I think the dupe here is just like one of these Mind Collapses. This is just a good card to have supporting my run. Yeah, I think that's fine. 110 shards at this point. Mark of Invasion? I mean, it depends on the draw order. It's conduits, we shouldn't do this. Don't do this. This is scarier than it looks. I'm coming up on a steel shop. Not that I know what I want to upgrade. I think we skip this here because I'm scared. And yeah, so it's like you pull this creature forward. We definitely Primordium. He's superfood, so it's good. Really good turn 1, actually. And we toss Animus Speed downstairs. She shoots a guy, and then it's fine. Okay. And then Perils Thorn Hollow. And we restore, and I take Vine Grasp for money, and we plink. mean, doing 85 here is pretty good, right? Then this all overflows, and it's scary, but I don't think it's outright that bad. It was pretty good here. 85 hit. I can actually get this kill potentially. You pull the big guy forward here. I think you plink. Take it. Downstairs you get this, which is pretty decent. We're popping the back. Yeah, so I think you pop the front individual here, which kills 3 of them, and then we pop the front here, which kills this guy, and I can take Immortal Trade, which I think is pretty decent. Now I might leak this big dude, which is certainly an option. That's not terrible. I actually don't know how terrible that is when you think about it. I guess I kill him, actually, now that I'm looking at it. We yank Big Scary Man forward and do 85 to it, and we chill on that, I think. Okay, it's a little spooky up here, but I think we're still okay. We yank... I'm okay. Am I okay if I leak this guy? I don't know. Probably fine. I'm definitely leaking some numbers somehow. Really no way around it. There's a train steward, I guess. I think it's better to put my numbers into the scary guy here. I'm just going to be clear about it. I don't think there's any real reason to... I think we take this 5, and we don't risk the, like, 100 damage here, right? I mean, because we do a lot of damage up here thanks to this. He's at 140. This saves me a bunch here. I guess I let this clipped conduit thing go. I think we win this, right? Math is hard, but I think we take these. Yeah, I think we get it. Take 2 for that. He pops up twice. I think we're good. Yeah, we take this. Thorn Hollow is a surprisingly decent unit when you like really put it to good effort. Like he's pretty decent. He's really good at carrying the early and mid game. The hard part is always just actually connecting the dots into the late game. I might be able to make this work off the back of Primordium, though, is kind of my hope. None of these Umbra units matter. We skip them, or Umbra cards, rather. Edge Prior is actually the Dreamboat infusion for Thorn Hollow. Although, Engraft is kind of sick here. I mean, I think it's got to be Edge Prior. It's just so much better than any other infusion that I could reasonably get here for my guy. So we take the Edge Prior. This is kind of similar to a run I did recently, actually. Strangely enough. Do this big infusion here. -2 again, good grief. Just make everything free, I guess. Edge Prior, let's go. Intrinsic again, huh? This is actually kind of cool because it could be anything, right? Could be anything. Large stone. I mean, you put the large stone in Animus of Speed, and she kind of just pops off. What I actually prefer, though, is if I see multi-strike, I'm probably putting it in the Animus, because she actually doesn't do a bad job. She soaks that upgrade pretty well. Yeah, I mean, like, that's pretty darn good, right? 170. It's not glamorous, but that's pretty solid. I'm going to take that. And then Damage Shield 3 is basically just way more than 25 hit points for Thorn Hollow. Spikes still work on Damage Shield, so I'm good for it. I don't need Revenge triggers, so yeah, that's a good pickup. And what else do we have here? -2. Let's put it in Grovel. I kind of like the intrinsic cycle of life here. Let's look in these caverns first, though. Oh, it's a Heartstone. Nice. Now, if you take Petrified Heart, you're griefing, so don't do that. I think we just take this Heartstone and then... Oh, I could overflow? What is this thing? What is this? Can we talk about what I have created here? I've basically just made buff Horned Warrior. That's quick. On the other hand, overflowing it is cool, but I kind of like not having to go to a steel shop ever again. I guess there's always the one at the end of the game, though, right? I'm guaranteed that one, assuming I want this Hellvent. Maybe I don't. Actually, I really think I kind of like this. Just spreading them out here. Yeah, frankly, I think that's pretty good. It's a shame I didn't see a plus 25 in the shop where I would have an overflow on them, but it's honestly okay. I have to take stuff. Let's intrinsic the cycle of life because this is a lot of benefit here. That worked out pretty well. -2 grovel, I guess. That's what, 25, 25, 50, 60 shards? I could make it to 100 if I take nothing right now. The question is just, is this -2 valuable enough? It's just in grovel. I don't actually think grovel's that good for this run. This also means I don't need my train stewards, for the record. So let's sell one of them, because that guy is a bad card draw. And I'm going to leave the rest for my Heaven's Gold, and we move on. That was a pretty good pickup, honestly. Happy with it. Stick offensive Seraph with spikes. Not as afraid of that as perhaps I should be. Literally all of them have been upgraded. That is outrageous. Yeah, wild. Play Animus of Speed middle, I think. Yeah, this should work out. It's a lot of damage coming in. Woof. Upgrade your lad. I definitely want Collector. Yes. I'm going to take the damage shield up top. I think it's good. Just kind of burn it downstairs. I think we pop one of these fellas on middle and we're happy about it. Yeah, not many great choices here, but whatever. I take 18, I suppose. It's not good. Now, the angle here, by the way, is you pull the heavy forward, and then upstairs, we actually just fully pop off, right? And in middle, we actually just completely destroy some enemies, and we're chilling here, I think. Cool. We should be very strong, actually. Honestly, pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good about this. Let's blink. Hey, we take these. Oh no, she dies. Oh no. Oh no. Can she ever live? No, she's very dead. Sadly. That's okay. She did her job, which was just holding out as long as she could and dealing with the scary waves. After this, I think we can take it, right? I want to pop these so they attack into Spike's person, yes. And then pull the bigger HP guy forward. Blink for no real reason. We're strong enough that we should be able to deal with this, right? Yeah, I think we get over it. Then we just restore, and it doesn't matter. Fine. Cool. We crunch this guy upstairs, no problem. I pull man forward. We don't want to plink to make him scarier. We just restore, and none of the rest of it matters, really. I think we get through this, right? We have enough stats here. Yeah, Thorned Hollow crunches it, no problems. Honestly, great. Excellent, really. He just beats the dirt out of this guy. Thorned Hollow, better than you think. Winged Steel, excellent pickup, happy to have it. Great news. Feast, engine upgrade, none of these cards matter. I already answered Diligent perfectly, so I don't need Ember Cash. Focus Growth's pretty good. Yeah. I'll take a focus growth. Sure. Draw me some cards, please. Thank you. Don't need the space, or rather the steel shop anymore, so let's go to the right. This is one of the benefits of what I just did. Fossilized fangs, huh? That's a shame. Where was my Shadow Eater on this run? Wait, did they show me a Shadow Eater? Oh no. If they showed me a Shadow Eater and I messed that up, my bad. I don't think there's ever a world I click Shadow Eater earlier in the run, given what I already had, but it's fine. I guess I sell this, because what's the chance I take Iron, like, Restoring Retreat? I'd rather the boss attack me, I think. We skip it. Fine. It's a little sad, but fine. Caverns. Trade Pyre Health for money? Will I do that? I think it's a reasonable decision to make. Go Magic Shop up ahead. How much health am I getting? I get 25 back there. I don't know how to feel about that. Do I need this money? I don't think I do. I think we skip this. It's fine. Health is value. Now, as far as what I want to duplicate, well, I think it's going to be that Cycle of Life, actually. Yes, in fact. Here we go. Because I'm guaranteed to be able to play it, thanks to the intrinsic on every other card I'm playing. It's wild because it's the best time to get it, right? Because I'm able to put Primordium spikes through here. Yeah, so like this is perfect, right? You just drop Primordium first for Chain of Gems value. Then we drop Edge Prior, friend. Then you double Cycle of Life here, which is nutty. We start putting perils down. And we eventually get through this unit. But like, we start pushing a lot of spikes through. Yeah, and you drop Animus of Murder the World. We get a Razor Sharp upstairs. You need a lot, you need a big burst of regen to ever justify not playing it into the friend in front here. So, I don't think we have it. So, that's fine. It's unfortunate I don't have the Stalwart Snack here, but it's okay. I pull this unit forward to kill the scarier enemy. Yeah. Now the only downside, of course, I don't have a spell chain on this Perils, so a little sketchy, but it's fine. I think I'm going to pull a unit forward to kill one. Well, I can actually kill two. I like that. Animus of Speed, doing well. None of this really matters. I guess I could have groveled for morsels. I didn't really see the value in it, though. Yeah, so here we do Focused Growth, Restore, Mind Collapse downstairs, and then we grovel. And then you play a morsel in front, and it's good. We're 1 HP off of killing this dude. That's okay. It just means that they die to spikes, which is fine by me. Cycle of Life. Restore. Restore. Pull this unit forward. Great job. Hit him. Yeah, good job. Good work. Go team. Honestly, we're looking pretty okay here, I think. The lifesteal is also nice. He's able to heal himself quite effectively. Ah, nice. We're actually in pretty good shape here, I think. I just blast one guy and then we kill the other. No problem. Yeah, seems good to me. Cool. Guess I could have shot the boss. She hits a little bit like a truck. It's a bit spooky, but that's okay. I mean, the fact that Animus of Speed actually made it here is genuinely impressive. Right? Look at this. She actually does hit the boss. Fair enough. Click the card, dang it. She does some damage. Now, we win? Yeah, we win. The math is hard to check out, admittedly. It's hard to look at this and go, ah, yes, we win. But I guess that's true. Thanks, buddy. Now, if I could see any of the Spikes relics, I'd feel really good about this, yeah? Just give me the Spikes relics, please. Adaptive mutation, let's go. I give my Animus of Shadow Siege tramples. I don't think the trample is winning. Adaptive mutation is weird. It's kind of good, actually, right? I have a lot of rage. Do I need to dupe the perils, actually? Maybe. I don't need space anymore. Let's take this card. I don't need space. I could take draw and then dupe the perils, which is kind of nice. It's pretty good, actually. Speeds up my ramp. I don't need Ember. Yeah, I like this draw angle. We're good on space for the moment. So I think we're fine. I'm going to go left here because magic shops are good. Are they? Do I really benefit from this? I guess the cavern's pretty good. Removals are nice. I can cut train stewards at long last. Magic shops are better. Removing cards is pretty good, though. Let me just be clear about it. We have some train stewards in this deck still, and they're quite bad. Also, plinks are garbage. Let's go left. 20 consumes are great. Didn't get them. It's fine. Going to -1/-1 focused growth, I think. Could double stack the immortal trade. Your guy just kind of lives in relentless even longer, which is neat. Let's look at the temple. -2 is fun. I'm going to -2 the adaptive mutation, probably. I'm going to purge the absolute dirt out of a plink, because that card's gross. Could remove a card via a pact thing as well. I should have looked here first, so I could have gotten a -2 on focus growth, but I actually think it's okay. We're going to do Superfood 2. I want that 2 damage shield for sure. Yes. I'm going to look in the caverns real fast, see what we get. Random consumable? Well, none of those are great. You can give me a... Am I going to take Space Prism here? I don't think I need this. What does this do for me? Nothing. I'll take 10 gold, though, that's for sure. Okay, that's unexciting. A +10 is pretty decent. Interesting. The double stack is unfriendly. I don't really... I mean, unfriendly. I mean, Immortal Trade is a pretty good double stack, admittedly, especially with the intrinsic on this. Like, full disclosure, I think this is pretty darn good. 8 lifesteal is a big number. And with how hard he's hitting, he's actually quite capable of sustaining himself indefinitely in Relentless, which is pretty cool. I'm actually going to double stack that. I think that's solid. The +10 belongs somewhere, I think. I'm going to put it in Vine Grasp, the ones I already have. I'm going to spin this now. Permafrost on Adaptive Mutation, kind of exactly what I was hoping for. We 20 consume one of these plinks. I'm -1, the Focused Growth. I'm almost certainly taking that -2 as well. Make Grovel playable. Yep, that's fine. I want to save some money here, but I do think removals are worthwhile. So let's cut a Train Steward. It's a bad card. It's fine. And then we move on. I'm going to buy another removal, most likely, coming up. I don't think the 25 Pact Shards angle for a removal is worth it. I took Heaven Seal, by the way. Sounds crazy, but I have Root Split Mask, which is the only reason I considered it. Cool. I actually don't mind when we don't have Thorned Hollow first, which is very strange. Right? Oh, we got him. Okay, well, cool. I was gonna say, I don't actually mind not having him first. Can I ever get this guy down to 170? Maybe not. I'm gonna pull the two crazy Shade Wings dudes forward and just deal with them. Okay. Now I could deal with them. Or I can get money. And I'm just gonna tell you, I like money. I'm gonna play Immortal Trade here, and we're gonna pass on 8 lifesteal. Seems good. Blink this for no real reason. Sure. Now, it took a lot of damage on that turn for that decision, and I'm willing to let it happen. Pull this scary guy forward because it keeps her alive. I'm actually willing to invest a little bit in her well-being here. I think it's worth it to do it. It was razor sharp up front, right? A lot of HP. I could swing this around, do some damage. He just kills himself, though. It's actually not very good to do that. It's very funny, though. Let's blink downstairs. I'll take that. Yeah. Morsel. Get out of here, bud. I don't want you. I could pop upstairs. If I shoot this guy in front, I actually can push some more damage through, which I think is valuable. Yeah, actually, now that I'm gonna, killing the guy downstairs is actually probably better. Nah, it's fine. He's gonna heal anyway. I kind of don't care, though. Okay. We do 100 damage here. As long as I can organize the floors and actually make this work, I think we are fine. Now, I am quite a bit concerned about this front guy. I can push 20, 39, so 59, 72 through to this guy. I actually think there's a serious consideration, by the way, for adaptive mutation here. Just do a lot of damage and then rely on stats. Because nothing's one-shotting me at 85, right? I gotta make sure I gotta make sure units don't fly up on me, though, is the big thing. So I think it's pretty important to, what am I, 1, 2, 3. I definitely want to razor sharp first. Then I wish to grovel. Play some stuff upstairs. It's fine. Here are some morsels. I could adaptive mutation and then if I can get this guy under, let's see, if I can get this guy under 48, I can easily do that. So that allows me to punch through. Yeah, so what you do here is we adaptive mutation here. It's actually okay. Yeah. Then we attack this guy under 51. Hold up. We want to restore here for sure. Then we attack him under 54. We can pop this and save the lad, which is valuable. That is a good choice. Stop talking. 50 gets 2 kills here, which is very powerful. And we start working on bottom floor because this horde is a potential issue. Cool. Now I feel very confident because Root Split Mask prevents them from doing what I'm afraid of. Cool. Perils, it's good. Immortal Trade, it's good. I wish to pull one, pull the other. I will focus growth here to save her. Then I double restore upstairs. Good. All right. Yo, this Animus of Speed, by the way, is actually cracked. She's actually doing an incredibly good job, which is kind of unreal, unreal when you think about it. Yeah, pull this forward and she just kills 2. Great news. I restore up top and then pop the friend in back for some Ember. And then I pop this friend. Yeah, pop that. That means she takes a little damage, but she damages the armor, which is great. Here's a Train Steward that's somehow still in my run. Good job. We've stabilized. I actually didn't think that would be possible, but here we are. Okay, well, we've done the monster train, I suppose. We've made it happen. Now, admittedly, this guy is actually pretty good. He never dies in Relentless. As long as he doesn't take his full HP in one go, he's fine. That guy, he's good. That was a bad plink. I tried my best. It's okay. Fine. Oh, I drew an answer to it. Wonderful. She gets to attack this guy. Amazing. Can I get you to live ever? No. Also, it's not worth it for you to live. Cool. We've stabilized fully. This whole trial was only made possible by the powers of... what is it? Root Split Mask. Let's go, champ. We look pretty stable. If I can get any of the Spikes relics, I'm going to feel a lot better about this run. There's 2 of them, so there's a good chance. Not guaranteed. I don't need these cards. Ensnare's pretty good, actually. I'm going to grab Ensnare. That's a good card. We take that one. And then I go left, and I dupe Perils? Is Perils really the answer? Really? What's my dupe? Like, what is Perils actually going to get me to win here? And that's the real question. And I don't think it does, actually. So then the question is, what does? What from the magic shop gets me a W here? Not a lot. Like, there's no holdover that does it, right? I mean, maybe holdover and snare's pretty okay. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, removals clean up the run a bit. Cut a plink. 20 consumes are pretty good. I think the magic shop is stronger, y'all. I don't think I dupe anything here. I was considering the perils, but it's pretty low impact, actually. Right? I mean, it maybe gives me a better adaptive mutation on my guy, but it's not that big of a deal. I think we go right, and we load up. The removals are helpful, too. I still reach 200 shards, so I'm not that worried about it. Okay. Removals. Destroy Train Steward. Destroy Plink. Good. Give me some 20 consumes, please. Incredible. 20 consume is basically a free like a 25 gold removal. I love that. Eternal Stone is dead to me. Light Stone Casing. Spell Chain, maybe? No Spell Chain. Oh, well. Friends. Lightstone Casing is interesting. I could -1 something. I was hoping if they had a spell chain, I would have snapped spell chain into that perils. The triumvirate of holdover intrinsic spell chain perils is nonsense powerful. I could get some -1s into Cycle of Lives, but that doesn't seem that powerful to me, especially because I have 6 Ember on turn 1. Yeah, I don't think it's that good, actually. Yeah, I don't think so. Okay, fair enough. Sketches. At long last, sketches. I could have had 4 Animus of Speed Shadow Sieges. I mean, that would have 3-4. That's what, 680 damage a floor. It might eventually win. I don't know. It's very funny to me, though. I'm just going to re-roll this. I don't think any of the other ones are that good. Firestone Housing. Man, you could have had it. Hammered Chestplates is pretty solid. Actually, Tempered Talisman makes my 3 Cursed Vines do 6 damage, which is actually kinda dope. Kind of. Let's solve the challenge of shard count. I think it's probably a 10 in piercing on Mine Collapse, this other one. Probably, right? I think so. I don't think this plus 30 is good. If I, like, can't remove this last plink, maybe I plus... No, I don't. That's not worth 15 shards. And then I could Tempered Talisman. I actually think Tempered Talisman's pretty sick here. Let me just be clear about that. Okay, buy the stuff we know we want. I would like Immortal Trade to cost 0. This card pretty much universally gets played when I draw it, so let's do that. Remove Consume is dead to me. Reroll this. We see a double stack. How does that look? I mean, I want double stack and snare. Anything that's really scary, I want it to hit my Thorn guy twice. That's pretty good. Plus 10. So I don't have a removal on Plink here. That's a shame. I would like Ensnare to cost 0, because as it turns out, I wish to play this card every time I draw it. I think I want to buy a removal on Plink and buy Hammered Chestplates or Tempered Talisman. Well, actually, you know what's going to make my mind up for me? The fact that I can afford Hammered Chestplates and a removal, whereas Tempered Talisman, the extra 40 gold here is too expensive. So, okay. You got me. Goodbye, Final Plink. All right. I mean, I think that's good, right? 205 out of 100. I think this actually wins. I like proving that Thorn Hollow ain't that bad. And, you know, I don't think he wins this on his own. But when you've got Primordium passing on like 30 spikes in the first 3 rounds, plus, you know, a whole bunch of damage shield and stuff like that, you can make it work. 205 out of 100. All right, let's go. I think we win this, actually, right? It's kind of weird doing it with Thorn Hollow, but we take it. All right, pull a lad forward. Then it's Primordium. Then it's Thorn Hollow. Then it's Perils. I do 15 right now. So as long as I have 4 Ember or more here, wait, he has 27, right. So I can actually play the Cycle of Life here. And then kill this guy. Yes. Incredible. A morsel that I don't want. There's an argument for an early adaptive here as well, but I decided against it. Okay, alright. Fine Grasp. Yank forward. Okay. Perils upstairs, of course. I think we are just going to be again doing Animus of Speed downstairs here. I think that's fine. I'm popping this for Light Wings in the back, of course. I like that. I think this is a valuable grovel upstairs. Here's a morsel, I guess. You may as well Fine Grasp and save the damage shield, I suppose. It's fine. I will take the healing. I think the proc is valuable. Note, I didn't see any Spikes relics, so the run sucks. Video game is bad, etc., etc. But we're fine, right? Yeah, put 170 through there. Pretty decent. Just remember to click the important card first. So, like, exactly in a moment like this, oh no, I drew too many cards. What do? You pull a guy forward and burn that, and then we Perils upstairs. Then I didn't get a chance to pass through 5 million Immortal Trades, sadly, but it's okay. Do I just bounce these Vengeful Shards? This is not worth me. Yeah, we just fully bounced some Vengeful Shards. This is actually just not worth my time to play them. It's fine. Okay, thank you, Animus of Speed. You continue to serve me well. We have our Vine Grasps yet again. How much damage do I do? 48? I can do more than that. So let's pull this fella forward. And then we do restore, restore, and we clear the floor, which is great. Link on bottom. That sucks a little bit. That's okay. I think we lock down this friend here, because he'll die. Sure. Okay. I did take some damage on Animus in order to enable this to go. I would like to save her life. How does one do that? By yanking Curse Friend forward. Playing Perils of Production. Playing Cycle of Life upstairs. Cycle of Life upstairs. I think we do want to toss her a Focus Growth, maybe? That's a good question. I'm not actually sure about that. I do want to pump my damage upstairs as high as I reasonably can. There's a good reason for it. Oh, I can actually just kill one of these guys, can't I? And then push some damage through, which is super correct, by the way. So we'll do that at least. Good. We take the damage. Do I heal her? It's a lot of HP that I somehow gained there. That's pretty cool. Do I heal her or take spikes? 69. Nice. She's going to die. I could give her an immortal trade next turn, actually. Actually, I don't think this is possible for me to lose. We just take this on downstairs and we're chilling, I think. Hop upstairs, kill that guy too. Cool, we're fine. I'm just trying to avoid enemies overflowing or running over my setup, so... Hey, not cool. Why? Oh, I draw 9, but adaptive mutation. I was like, where's my vine? Anyway, I'm gonna burn Grovel, I guess. It's kind of depressing, but we have to do it. So that's the trick. The trick is you can't leave adaptive mutation when you play the other thing. Got it. Anyway, here's a mortal trade. Hey, look, she lived. Good job. Play restore, restore, restore. Kill a guy. Kill another guy. Ooh, I should do something upstairs, shouldn't I? I'm gonna kill the guy here, I think. Yes, then we Vengeful Shard. I'm a little concerned. We've got some big heavies coming up, which I don't like. Not a fan of big heavies. It looks like we're getting through them, though. I wish to take Cycle of Life here. Razor Sharp is good. Is 117 HP enough to win this? Maybe. If you Vine Grasp here, I think we actually kill 2. Yeah, we do. That's great news. I'm going to pop the 15 downstairs, I'm pretty sure. Which means I can do this, and yep, we're fine. She's now in the positive. I think I'm going to play the Adaptive Mutation the next time I see the Focus Growth. Killing 2 upstairs makes me feel a lot more confident about this. Okay, she perishes. But it's okay. We pull this guy forward, we kill them both. Actually incredible news. I don't know how that works out. How in the world? You know what? Fine. I double ensnare on middle and these guys now dead, which is pretty nifty. I charge. I'm going to Focus Growth upstairs. We're just going to kind of load it up here. The restores are stronger for scaling. 3 spikes on a Rejuvenate trigger. I do draw 10 here, so be mindful of it. I think we just actually do restore, restore, restore here, and we chill. Yeah, bounce that shard, it's fine. Bam, 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 good. Pew pew. She lives, incredible. Amazing. We just burn the razor sharp here. I like that. Perils, it's good. Vengeful shard, I don't care. Well, it brought it back. Alright, fine. I think with 10 lifesteal, we're doing okay on this one. So we just shoot the man. I'm not going to mess around here. I'm happy to take 1 damage here. I think we win this. You know what? We take these. Great work. Go team. I'm not even going to click it and mess with it. Great job. I'm just going to hit the bad man. Do some damage here. Seems good. Pop. Cool. It's not pretty, but it's good enough. He has plenty of lifesteal to stay ahead against this combat. And yeah, we take it. I mean, 5 damage taken is pretty okay, honestly. No blank pages. I actually would have liked the shard, right? What is it? Shard of Divinity? Would have been nice there. It's fine. Fine. We're okay. Okay. Turn 1. Let's go. I do have sweeping active on the enemies, so that's unfortunate, but okay. We will definitely Cycle of Life here. It's super correct to do it. Animus, I think... I want her to go bottom because she only takes 1 hit from the Divinity, but that's a tough call. Focus growth upstairs for sure. Now, I could pop 1, kill a guy. I think we're always popping in the back for sure. It's just a matter of where these dudes go. She might not live very long, but I actually quite value her help. So I think we're going to take her middle. I think I'm going to let her go middle. It's only 8 more damage, honestly. It's better setup overall. Yeah, I mean, we always Immortal Trade into Primordium here. That's just too strong to skip, is the thing. We're going to lose her for sure. That is a fact of life, I believe. She's not long for this world. I do think I can deal with this Light Wings, though. Ooh, actually, I can deal with 2 guys here. I should Plink and Plink again. Really unfortunate that I didn't hit the Light Wings there. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to take out the damage shields on middle and then restore up top. Okay. Goodbye. Everything. All right, we're looking tough. We're looking tough. How do I deal with this? I think I can pop both of these units on middle, but they also just auto-die upstairs in a very unflattering manner. So I prioritize the restore here for sure. All right, how am I going to approach this? Goodbye, Animus of Speed. I'm sad that you're dead, but you did your best, I think. These heavies are going to be a pain. These heavies are going to be a big pain. They get the lockdown. I think you were going to just lock down this big Dark Wings for a while and then not worry about him. He's got a lot of HP I don't feel like looking at. Clearing mid is probably a pretty good call, right? It's also nice to just pop these units, though. I don't want to buff this floor, though. So I will actually pop middle, I think, is the angle. We just pop 1 and pop 2. Now, I could save her. Is that worth it? I don't think so. I actually think there's a lot of value in getting some HP and other stuff on Mr. Hollow. The longer I can wait, the more I can benefit from the rage interaction here. Am I going to let her die? I think she dies no matter what. There's no way around it because she's getting hit every time. I think I need to let her go. We need to let her go. Yes. Okay, fine. Fine. Okay. Let her go. She's gone. Okay. Alright, what the heck is happening now? Perils of production. Good. Click the thing. These units are just straight up dead. He's still ensnared. I don't feel like looking at him, so he's gone to me. Good job. Go away. I may as well... I want to buff the boss. I may as well pop these things, right? There's no reason not to, I think. I can actually pop one by doing this, which is kind of fun. And then I may as well do some damage here. Pop some enemies. And then hit this guy in the back for as much as we can. We just need to get to Relentless, I think, is the whole situation. Hey, look, it's ensnare. I could just not look at this Dark Wings ever again. That's an option, which is kind of fun. Yikes, my spikes are not in a very good situation right now. I only have a 60 spikes here. This is part of the challenge of Thorn Hollow, by the way. You are experiencing Thorn Hollow endgame challenges. Scaling is hard. Scaling is very difficult here. How do I approach this one? I think I pretty much have to just slam heals here. Oh, of course, I knew you wouldn't die. I'm fine with him walking and doing 7 to me. It could be way worse. I could ensnare something and then just never want to look at it again. This mini-boss is basically going to insta-murder me. I think we have to lock down Mr. Mini-boss and pretend he doesn't exist. Is pretty much the role that we're in right now. Small units are no problem. Big units are a big problem. I'm going to do some damage here. I kind of don't care. Okay. He leaks. It's fine. Oh no. It's 7 damage. We're okay. I need to full kill as much nonsense as I reasonably can here. How do I do that? Well... not easy. Can I leak this guy and be okay with it? Take, what, 13? Take 13 here? I actually really want the Winged Conduit to walk up on this floor. There's a reason for that. And it's because I really want them to hit the boss, hit my guy twice. Hit my guy twice, please. I can stop him from walking on me, which is probably very good to do. Just do 20 to him. If I hit him with the Cycle of Life, we get closer and I can pull this off. I think that's correct. The damage shield, I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm using lifesteal 26 to get by here. I don't need to play Grovel. There's basically no value in it. This mid-floor is scary. Okay, well, we're trying our best, okay? We're trying our best. Wow, okay, not great. I think I need to dumpster Mr. Adaptive Mutation here and accept. Yeah, I need to kill this front guy. Okay, we're doing it. Alright, I'm gonna focus growth here. Got it. I need to... I'm gonna be ensnaring this mini-boss, I guess. I'm killing Darkwings, though, before this floor is stacking up. I actually think that's really important. Full stop. I think that is critically important. This floor up here terrifies me. What is happening? I need to respect. We're gonna restore. I have to just kill this guy. I kill someone else. Kill the guy downstairs. Yeah, okay. Kill the guy downstairs. Cool, got it. Alright, we'll kill the guy downstairs. Why? Because I need to play this restore and this Cycle of Life. We need to hit these numbers higher. I'm going to do as much damage as I can. And then I'm going to pull this guy forward again, because I think he needs to die first. It's actually very important that he perishes. Something is happening on this top floor that scares me a great deal. I also fully messed up, and the stupid multi-striker that I actually really wanted on this floor didn't end up on this floor. Not good, okay? I get it. It's not good. Now, I think I need to immobilize the last knight because I cannot imagine a universe where I kill him. Oh, but I can't imagine a universe where I kill this top mini-boss that is literally right here. He walks on me so hard. This is bad. I think I also have to kill the stupid... Right, I have to kill this Dark Wings. Yeah? Or else how in the world do I not die to him? I think we lose because I screwed up that multi-strike unit, actually. That's the full moment there. I think I lose because they're not attacking into me twice, which is actually really bad. I need to be getting attacked into twice here. I think I pull Darkwings forward here and kill him. And I think we do as much damage as we can into... Guy walks and does one hit on me. This guy, it's like a 20 damage. How much is he hitting me for? It's what, 206 minus 117, 89. He hits me 3 times. So if I pop him, he hits me once, or twice rather. Okay. At least kill armor dude, and then these guys walk on me and do some damage. Alright. Perils it up. I mean, we need to hit. I need to do some damage here. I need to kill a guy. And I'm killing a guy now. Pretty much. Now or never. Alright, both the mini bosses are on me and relentless for anyone keeping track here. So that's pretty rough. I'm just gonna be clear with you. I need to respect and play, like, I accept any damage this guy does to me because I need to play my cards. Yep, I need to play my cards. I could pull him forward and kill him, actually. Right? Just punch him in the head. And then the only damage I take is from this defender, which is actually not that bad of a call. I'll take that shot, yeah, for sure. And then Grovel is just dead at the moment. Okay, all of the mini-bosses made it to Relentless. Do I live? Well... Hey! Thorn Hollow is cracked. Look at this absolute lunatic. Alright, we're absolutely fine. Is Ensnare a disgustingly good card? Yes, it is, in fact. I don't even know what to tell you. Turns out, if the enemies can't do over 165 damage in one round, I win. I'm going to let this ride. I'm going to slow it down a little bit, and I'm going to let it go. Horned Hollow, my man. He's doing it. Mini-bosses? Oh yeah, that guy with multi-strike just straight up kills himself. I forgot about him. Good job, guys. We'll get through it eventually. You'll get him eventually, Thorn Hollow. Good job, you killed the floor. Oh yeah, that guy with 3 multi-strike just absolutely shreds himself. Look at our man go. He's just a winner. He doesn't accept defeat. Mr. Thorn Hollow, 55 damage taken. You know what? It's beautiful. Thorn Hollow is a tough unit to work, and you need some hits in order to make it happen. Root Split Mask is one of those hits, as it turns out. It's pretty much the only reason I even humored this idea, because it's basically guaranteeing that everything has to hit me twice. Good grief. Well, We're having some rocky runs of this series, I'm going to admit, but at the same time, we're at least winning. I'll take that. So, also, thank you, Primordium. It's easy for me to thank Mr. Thornhollow on this run, but the truth of the matter is this run is absolutely cracked. We build your own Horned Warrior with Large Stone. Yeah, okay. Build your own Horned Warrior with Large Stone here in Animus of Speed infused with a friggin' Shadow Siege. What is happening? And then Thornhollow pretty much only works because I've got Primordium funneling so much stuff into him. Like the double cycle of life start with Intrinsic here. This actually is pretty legit. This card is probably the one that's going on the thumbnail because this card is actually cracked here. And doing great work. Got this Chain of Gems helping out. Root Split Mass guaranteeing that enemies hit me twice. Eventually we get there on the stats. We're not doing nearly enough damage on Thorns to win off of just playing this normally. It's all Root Split Mass carry. Also, for the record, the double stack on Ensnare basically saved the run. Just fully saved the run. By just basically locking down all mini-bosses to Thornhollow's floor forever. Which is pretty much perfect, I think, actually. Just genuinely perfect. So that's pretty cool. And then Immortal Trade is really good when you've got the adaptive mutation lined up. So my Thornhollow's hitting for 300 damage. He actually just kills a guy, which is pretty cool. Now, I could have put the multi-strike into him and he would have hit 2 things. But I actually really believe that having Animus of Speed clearing the early floors and helping soften the early waves while Thornhollow is at his weakest is very important for this run. Having a little friend to do some stuff, pretty good. What a weird run. Very peculiar. But you know what? We take these. That is a victory. So heck yeah. Hey, thanks a lot for watching this. I really appreciate your time. As always, you can give the video a like or a dislike if you want. I think this one deserves a like. You can subscribe to the channel if you want to see more, though, and stay tuned for what's next. Whew, take care, folks.